What's up, the Masculine Addiction family? It's been a minute, y'all. Your girl has been going through some life changes, but that's not going to stop me from delivering what I obviously was woken up out of my sleep to do because I can't shake it. So let's just get right into it. Today, I want to obviously do a presentation style because I want to do a brain teaser with you guys or a simple food for thought to help you have something to think about. So let's just dive right into it. We're going to be talking about the personal tree. And the personal tree looks different for everybody, but we are going to tailor it and think about it in the form of substance abuse. So, when you think about a tree, you see the beauty of it when you're walking and you see your trees outside your front yard, when you're at the store, when you're driving on the road. But that tree didn't just happen to go poof, there's a tree. The tree grew, the tree was planted, the foundation was laid, the support system, the bark grew, the limbs branched out, and therefore it produced leaves and flowers. But before we could get to that beautiful part of the tree, the foundation, the darkness has to come to the light. So here you see I have a picture where it's dry dirt, it's cracked, it's probably sunburnt, and it's not nourished. Nobody has touched this soil, nobody's taking care of this soil. It looks dried out, and that's typically what we look like when we first come out of our addiction. We've hit our rock bottom, and now this is day one, ground zero of sobriety. But you know that there's a difference you want for yourself. You want to bring something better out of you that just doesn't look like what you want it to present like right now in your present. So, in order to do that, in order to grow your personal tree and to get better, you have to lay the foundation. As I said, your tree doesn't grow and have beautiful grass around it and the bugs are eating off of it from the beginning because it doesn't just work right out of the gate. You have to do the work yourself. So in order to grow your tree, what do you have to do? You have to water it. You have to lay the foundation. What does the foundation look like? Therapy. That is whether you see a therapist through church, you go to counseling through church, you go to scientific route, that's going to meetings, your 90 meetings in 90 days, that's going to rehab, that's praying, that is doing the deep work on the inside because what we want to manifest outwardly cannot happen until we make a change inwardly. And we have to make the change here in our mind and do the foundational work here before it can grow and prosper outwardly. So, say you've done your 90 meetings in 90 days. You've got some time, some sobriety under your belt. Withdrawals aren't so bad. When you're triggered, you got some healthy coping skills put into place. Whenever you feel down, instead of getting high, you pray. You've laid that foundation. So now you start to see the support, the bark, the limbs are growing, the limbs are branching out. What is that support system? It's the people that hold your back. They support you, they hold you up, and they help you keep growing upward so you can manifest into the person you're supposed to be. Your support system could look different for depending on who you are. Your support system could be your sponsor, your therapist, your pastor, your family, somebody who wants to help you grow and nurture you and support you into the being so that you can manifest whatever it is God has put inside your heart. So now we fast forward to part three of this beautiful tree. You have the leaves and the flowers. This is your manifestation time. This is the time where the fruits of your labor are now able to show. What does the fruits of your labor look like? Once again, it could be different for each person. It could be making amends with your loved ones. It could be keeping a job and not getting fired from it because of your substance abuse. It could be going to work on time and not being late because you have a hangover. Um, it could be you getting involved in your church and volunteering or giving back to the community. Um, It could be a number of different things in your life that become the beauty. But the crazy thing is we start here. We start with nothing when we come into recovery and sobriety. We're going to go to arts and crafts kindergarten style, okay? I'm going to take y'all to kindergarten arts and crafts right quick. Here is how most of us start. It is the deep depths of your addiction, manipulation, stealing, robbing, you name it. All your deep, darkest sins lie here. Your traumas, your pain, things that you don't want anybody to see, anybody to talk about. This ground foundation here is normally dry, abused, abandoned, hurt, dark, unloved, neglected. The list could go on. This is normally where we all start. We want to have the beautiful green tree and the beautiful leaves at the top, but we don't have that because we got to start by breaking this up. So when we first come to sobriety and recovery, we initially come out of the darkest places of our souls, right? So then something happens. It looks dark. It looks like it's unuseful, but something says, I want different from my life. So what do? You start to water that. These blue strings, y'all, it's water going into our darkest parts of our soul. Stick with me here. Don't get caught up in the crazy. You start to water that. How do you water it? You go to therapy. You go to rehab. You go to inpatient stay. You go do your 28 days of residential. You start to go to your meetings, 90 meetings in 90 days. You start watering that nastiness, breaking up that dirt, fertilizing it, and eventually, after watering it for so long and doing the deep dark work, it starts to sprout little green stems, aka grass, starts to come out of this deep dark stuff that we don't want to show anybody. But by doing the deep work, by laying the foundation, by going to meetings, by sharing, by talking, by making amends, by admitting your pain, admitting what hurts, admitting your sorrow, doing the deep work out of what seemed like absolutely nothing starts to sprout these beautiful green strings. And here we have grass. Then what happens? Y'all, I don't have the color black. So we gonna use the color, what is this? Brown. Oh, I do have brown. I meant to say I don't have brown. What happens? The grass grows. We're watering it. Our foundation's not so ugly anymore. So we get a support system and it starts to grow. And the branch starts out thin. When it first comes out the ground, the bark, is not strong like you see on an oak tree. It starts feeble and a little weak because this is new to us. Sobriety isn't easy and you can't achieve it on your own. But after you've watered it and the grass starts to grow and that soil's not so dirty anymore, you get this bark that grows up strong from the ground and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And next thing you know, your support system, your family, your father, your mother, significant other, siblings, whatever your family support looks like for you, your sponsor, your therapist, your pastor start to support you and help you grow. Next thing you know, you're branching out and you're starting to grow and do things on your own. And you're making your own wonderful, beautiful tree all by yourself. You don't even realize how well you're doing until after the tree starts to grow and the limb starts to sprout out. Then, after that, guess what? The beautiful manifestation of your hard labor of tilling the ground and your support system helping you, you start to branch out into all these little leaves. Your manifestation, you're coming out into who you are supposed to be, into who you are supposed to grow to be, into what God has for your life starts to come off of these limbs. And this is, you keep a job, you make your family proud, you stop manipulating, you become trustworthy to people again. People don't have to hide their bags around you. People don't have to take their credit card and say, oh, such and such is coming. We don't need to, we got to pick this stuff up. Instead, people are able to be vulnerable and express themselves. You keep your job. You're starting to grow and build a relationship again with your family. This, you get 90 days clean. You get 6 months clean. You get a year clean. Next thing you know, you become a sponsor. Next thing you know, you become a supervisor at work. All because of this ugly part of your life that you didn't want to show anybody. That deep, dark area that you thought was worthless had something in it all along. All along, you could manifest this beautiful tree that you didn't know you could because all you did was focus on the negative. You focused on this part down here. So, with that being said, you have the final product, this beautiful tree that came from absolutely nothing. And my question to you is what do you want your personal tree to look like? What do you want to manifest in this life? Do you want to be this tree that seems to have nothing going on for itself over here to the left, where it's just the bark, but there's no manifestation, there's no leaves really coming off of it? The ground could use some work to help this tree grow. Or, or do you want to be this beautiful cherry blossom tree? Plug, it's my favorite tree in the world. That grows beautiful leaves, beautiful flowers. The bark is strong and stable. The support system is there. You're utilizing it. And your foundation, you're continuing to grow it. Just because you manifest doesn't mean you need to stop doing the hard work that starts at the bottom. You got to keep watering your ground. And that's going to meetings, going to therapy, that's sharing, that's talking about what hurts. Because if you don't talk about what hurts in the dark, you will manifest darkness in your light. So be mindful of that. And I hope that your personal tree manifests into something absolutely beautiful. So lay the foundation, get a strong support system, do the work, and watch. Over time, you'll see your branches sprout beautiful, beautiful leaves and flowers. I wish y'all the best. Love you. Bye.